The sky above Miami was painted in hues of gold, pink, and soft lavender as the sleek white yacht glided effortlessly across the water. The salty breeze carried laughter and music through the air, mingling with the clinking of champagne glasses. Strings of delicate fairy lights twinkled above the deck, casting a warm glow over the elegant crowd gathered to celebrate Richard Hale's 65th birthday and his retirement for decades as the founder and CEO of Hale Financial Group. Richard smiled graciously, raising his glass as old friends and colleagues toasted his legacy, his success, and his future. Beside him stood Margot Hale, his wife of 30 years, radiant in a flowing champagne-colored dress, her perfectly coiffed hair catching the last glints of the setting sun. To the guests, they looked like the picture of lasting love and achievement. But appearances, Richard knew, were deceptive. The yacht's gentle sway did little to calm the storm that had raged inside him for months. The first signs had been subtle: the secretive texts, the unexplained absences, the sudden late-night yoga classes that Margot had never shown interest in before. He wasn't the man to jump to conclusions, but when he discovered the burner phone tucked deep in her handbag, poorly hidden under makeup wipes, everything changed. Photos, messages, plans. Her lover wasn't just any man, it was a 28-year-old fitness trainer named Carter, half her age, a man Richard had unknowingly paid for through joint accounts. He hadn't confronted her, not yet, because Richard Hale believed in timing. And tonight, surrounded by friends, family, and colleagues, beneath the golden Miami sunset, would be perfect. Margot beamed as guests congratulated her, praised her support through Richard's career, her grace and loyalty. Dinner was served on the lower deck, the conversation lively, the mood buoyant. Richard chuckled softly to himself at every mention of the word loyalty. Tonight is about endings and new beginnings. As the final course cleared, the captain invited everyone back to the upper deck for a champagne toast and birthday cake. A string quartet played softly. The ocean breeze carried soft applause as Richard stood once more, microphone in hand, glass raised. "I'm retiring from pretending. I want to thank you all," he began, his voice calm, smooth, but laced with something cool underneath. A few nodded, lifting their glasses. Margot stood beside him, her hand resting on his arm. "You didn't have to," she murmured, carefully unwrapping the silver ribbon. "I am retiring from a career that defined my life. But I'm also retiring from something else," he continued, lowering his glass. A small ripple of laughter. Margot's smile faltered. Richard reached to a side table where a beautifully wrapped gift box waited. He lifted it gently, handing it to Margot. "Darling," he said softly, "before the cake, I have something for you." The guests cooed and clapped as Margot, slightly flustered, took the package. Inside lay a leather-bound book, the title engraved in gold. Richard. "Everything I pretended not to know." Margot's breath caught. Her fingers trembled as she flipped it open. Page after page printed screenshots of text messages, photos, hotel receipts. The young man's name, his face, her own words of betrayal. The crowd's chatter faded into stunned silence. The string quartet stopped playing. Margot's lips parted, her skin draining of color. He raised a hand gently. "Please," he said softly. "Let me finish." He set the microphone down on the table. He didn't need amplification for what came next. "For months, I let it go. I told myself I was imagining things. I told myself 30 years together meant something." A woman in the back whispered, "Oh my God," to truth, to freedom, to never settling for less than we deserve. But tonight, I'm not just retiring from my firm. I'm retiring from this farce. But when I found the phone, he glanced toward her. I stopped lying to myself. No one moved. No one spoke. He exhaled deeply, his eyes never leaving hers. I built my life on trust, on loyalty. On values I thought we shared. Gasps. Margot's voice cracked. We can talk about this. He spent his mornings walking the beach, his evenings reading by the water. He wasn't bitter. He wasn't angry. No, Richard said, gently but firmly. We won't. He stepped forward, kissed her lightly on the cheek, and whispered, You're free now. So am I. Then he turned to the guests, raising his glass once more. The stunned silence gave way to a few awkward claps. Some couldn't look away. Others glanced uncomfortably at the floor. Without another word, Richard set his glass down, adjusted his cufflinks, and calmly made his way toward the gangplank, the Miami skyline flickering in the distance. Later that night, the story spread first through whispered texts among guests, then through viral posts online. Someone had filmed the entire thing. Retirement party revenge trended across social media. News outlets picked it up by morning. Margot disappeared from public view. Carter deleted his accounts. And Richard. He moved into a penthouse overlooking Biscayne Bay. He was free. Because sometimes the best gift you can give yourself is walking away. Subscribe the channel. Thanks for watching.